finally matriculated, okay? It's 2025, you're anxiously waiting for your results, and you have no idea what you are going to do in this new year. If you are the student that is so confused and have zero idea what's going to come from this year, hi, you don't know me yet, but I'm here to tell you that it is okay. Breathe. Wherever you are right now as a student anxiously waiting on their results, breathe. It's gonna be okay and things will work out. So, you don't know me yet. I am Sarah Jane. I go by SJ, and I've been studying chemical science for the past 6 years at UWC. It has been a journey and I've learned so much, and I wish someone could have told me before I went into my degree that it is okay. You don't need to know what you want to do yet. For the past how many years you've been only a student on primary school, on high school, that's all you've known for the past years. And all of a sudden the world expects you to know what you want to do. That's a big decision to make. And I did not know what I wanted to do. And so if you are a student that is exactly, even a matriculant, even if you are in grade 11 and you don't know what you want to do with your life, with if you want to go study or not, this is something that I wish someone could have told me when I started out. And so let me be your bestie for today, okay? Let me be your mentor, because in the past 6 years I've mentored, I've tutored, I've invigilated, I've demonstrated for first years. So the new batch of first years that's coming in this new year, you will meet me. In my faculty, I've worked with so many first years over this past 6 years at UWC, and I know exactly how you feel and what you go through, and I've been there myself. And so this is the one thing that was on my heart this morning when I realized I have 3 people at the moment that's in this position. They don't know what they want to do. They just matriculated, they're very anxious, and I can almost tell and sense that they feel like the world is crumbling underneath their feet and they have no idea what they're gonna do. And so here are my advice to someone that's in a position like that. Number 1, there are 2 types of students. There's the student that is actually doing research. They know what they want to study, they have a plan, they already organized everything. They know exactly what they want to do in the next 4 years studying or in the next 3 years of studying. I was not that student, okay? That was not me. Let me take a sip to that. In 2019, I had no idea if I was even gonna pass my matric. I knew I was, but I was so nervous. I had anxiety around it. I did not know. I had no idea what I wanted to do. Simple as that. I had no idea, and it's a big decision to make at the fresh age of 18. And so if I can go back to my younger self now, 6 years later, I would tell her it's absolutely okay. First of all, things are going to work out the way they're going to work out. That's just how it is. God is in control. That's something I would truly tell myself. It's okay. And the second thing I would tell myself is that it's actually okay to take a gap year. I know it's controversial. I know a lot of parents don't like that. It's very first class, very first world type of decisions to make. We in South Africa, we are a third world country. You know, a lot of parents push their kids to go study, and I understand why they do that. However, if you are a confused kid, or if you are a parent or a confused kid who don't know what they want to do, it's okay if they want to take a gap year, it's okay. And yeah, this is actually why I'm saying this. The reason why I think it's okay to take a gap year, having gone through what I've gone through on university, a gap year, and if you are extremely intentional with that gap year, a gap year allows you the ability to really get clarity over if you want to study a degree or not. A gap year allows you to finally see who you are outside of a school, outside of a school system, outside of a teacher, okay? And finally, you will have to learn a lot and realize that the adult world is actually a very, very ghetto place. And so this is why I would encourage any first year, any matriculant that's confused right now, who were and is in the position that I was in, is that really think about taking a gap year. What a gap year will allow you, and like I mentioned, be very intentional with it. Take a gap year if you feel like you have no idea what you want to study. You don't know who you are, and you don't know what you want to do yet. Mind you, that is okay. You don't need to know all of those things yet. You just matriculated. So it's okay to not know what's going to happen next. And so if you are that person, you are allowed to take a gap year. Speak to the people that you need to speak to and really be intentional with that year. So what I would have done if I took a gap year, and I'm looking back now, I would have taken that gap year to really make sure that what I want to study is actually what I want to study. If my marks will make it for me to study what I want to study. In that gap year, you can learn whether you are the type of person that want to continue your degree or continue studies or not. Because I know my parents would have pushed me to get a job. So I would actually encourage, get a job. Do something outside of school that can teach you about you and teach you about the real world. Because once you realize about once you in the real world, in the adult world, you will understand why studying is important. And so if you're confused, take the gap year to get clarity on whether what you want to study is what you want to study. Make sure you're doing thorough research. If you want to study chemistry like me, medicine like someone else, or whatever you want to study, make sure you know what they require from you as a first year. Make sure you know what you will have to do as a first year. What no one really understands is that you have a lot of freedom and it's just all coming onto you so fast and so quick. And so get clear on what would be required from you and make sure that what you want to study is what you want to study. I wish I could really have taken the time just to make sure that I wanted to study what I wanted to study, because I really did not know what I was doing. And so do your research, number one. Number two, get a job. Go work and see how it is to work. Because I truly believe after I've gone to work and I've worked in a very adult environment, I realized how very much I was not ready for that either. And so because I realized that working, well, it took a lot and it required a lot from you, I realized very quickly I'll rather take the shot on myself and go back to my studies. And that is a story for a very another day, but go work. Figure yourself out outside of school, outside of being someone's son, outside of being someone's daughter. And really, really take your gap year and be intentional with it. Whether you choose it or not, just be intentional with it and realize that I think I'm better off working for the next 5 years. Or I think I'm better off going and actually pursuing my degree. Because university, one thing university is not, is high school, okay? And so those are the biggest things that I wish I knew. It's just that it's okay to take a gap year, even though it goes against any norms. And there's going to be a time during this year that you are going to be very confused with what position you're supposed to take up. Because your whole life so far, you've only been a high school student or a primary school student, so you don't really know who you are. And so that's why I keep on encouraging taking a gap year, and that's something I wish I knew when I started. But for those who will get accepted and who are still confused, I got you. I'm your mentor today, and what I would tell myself in a position like that, you've got accepted. You are in. Scream, shout. You still have the time to decide if this is something for you. Because baby, once you start to register, and I know a lot of first years don't know these things. You guys don't know what a university is really. You don't really know how it looks like too. A lot of first years don't really know what a university is and how it works. I work with a lot of first years. And so understand that once you pay registration fees, you are in, baby. And if you fail that here, that money will pile on to your parents. And so one thing that I actually forgot to mention about the gap year, What people don't realize about you taking a gap year, and I know I'm making a gap year sound so big and amazing, it's your choice obviously, but I'm just encouraging it because a lot of you don't know what you want to do. But you and your parents don't have to waste money on school fees. You don't have to waste money on registration fees, on school book fees, on there's so much fees that's coming with being a first student, with being a first year. You are gonna be releasing money into the system for a while. And when you take a gap year, people's pockets can actually relax for a while. People's pockets can take a breather. So not only is a gap year beneficial for you and your social and psychology and all these different things, but it also makes sure that you don't unnecessarily spend money or waste money on random things, because a lot of you come from far, so you're gonna have to travel, so it's transportation fees, it is accommodation fees. It's a lot of fees that your parents have to spend in your first year for you to get accommodated and for you to get comfortable with the living environments. I'm going to emphasize this again. First year is not matric. It's not the same thing. And so I highly suggest that you really get clear on if this is what you want to do. And if it's not, and in your heart it's not, pray. If you believe in God, pray and ask Him to help you and show you the way. But if you feel like taking a gap year is for you, I will also encourage you as your official mentor from the internet that it's actually okay to do so. It's not the end of the world. But I'm not forgetting about the besties who's actually here now and they're still confused and you don't know what to do. You're in first year now, new friends, different languages, different people, different cultural backgrounds. That's a lot that's gonna happen in your first year. And let me not even talk about the freedom that you guys are gonna get now, the exploration. There's so much gonna happen, and I want to put all of that information in this video. But if you guys are really interested, I think I will make a second video if you are really interested in a second video. But what I would give to the babes that's confused, but they've already been accepted and they're ready to come and study and be a young adult, take it on. Take your first year on and do it how you want to do it. Still implement, make sure you get clear on what you want to do in university. Don't just come here with no plan. Please don't be me. So even if you are accepted and you don't really know what you're going to do and how it's going to work, it's fine. Things work out on their own way and in their own time. But go for it. Try university. Because what I can also attest to is that with my experience in my first year and everything that has happened, I could reflect back on that first year and really see what went wrong and what went right in my first year. And there's a lot of people at the end of the first year, they realize that this is actually not what I want to do, this is not what I want to study. There's so much things that can happen and there's so many different stories, but just make the best decision for you. Decide what's best for you. Speak to the people closest to you, to your parents, to your friends. If you pray, pray to God to really see if this is something that you want to take on. And remember what I told you in the beginning of the video, breathe. It's okay. It's okay. I know a lot of you are stepping into this new phase, and so make sure to send this to someone that you know that might need to hear this. Send this to a first year, to a matriculant. Send this to someone that's about to step into matric so that they can be aware ahead of time. And so if you guys have anything else that you want to hear from me, any other advice that you would like me to give to you, or if you want me to make another video on a specific topic, put that in the comments down below. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for letting me be your mentor for today, okay? Thank you for letting me be your mentor for today, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope this helps someone. I hope this brings peace over someone's worries and concerns. And yeah, that's all from me today. I love you guys. Anyways, bye.